Welcome to the live comic show. I'll be working on the comic live today here in the studio, back in the home studio. Gary may be joining in a little bit. He's a pretty busy guy, so he'll pop in here and maybe make some comics live. And later on, we'll be joined probably by Jeremy Knows from the TikTok. We also are live over on TikTok, but you can't see all the screens that I got going on over here on Twitch, YouTube. Where else are we? We're live on X, Twitch, and YouTube, and live on TikTok as well. So thanks for watching the stream. If you're new to this is the VeeFriends comic strip. We're doing it daily. This will be more of a deep work live stream. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit behind the scenes of the comic. Gary might be popping in here anytime, and you never know when he's going to pop in. And we'll write some comics together or do something together. And then in the meantime, I might take a look through some of the comics so far and just do some of the deep work on the comic strips. And I'll talk through as I'm doing things. So I'm working on tomorrow's strip, actually. Got to finish up the coloring on this today. Hey, Nate from Twitch, thanks for joining the stream. Got a different little camera angle here, so you can kind of see my hands on the other channels too, just like you can on TikTok. All right, cool. Cool, I'm glad you're loving the comics. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody out there reading the comments or the comics, commenting, sharing it with your friends is like one of the best things you can do. And yeah, really appreciate all of the support from the community. Let's see. Does the team know that I'm live here? I also have to kind of keep an eye out, but let's take a look through some of the comics so far this week. Of course, it's Super Bowl week. We're going to go back to Saturday. So Saturday we had our kindness strips based on the stories from the community. Those came out really great. From Biceptual Barista, dropping some latte art in the drinks for people. This was a great story from WeSent about how he purchased a backpack for like a student that was kind of overcoming some adversity, and they later on went to become a teacher themselves. So just that little act of kindness inspired them to become a teacher themselves. That's awesome. And Cowabunga Chan volunteers at a local gardening club that does good for the community there. So that's awesome as well. Here I have him carrying all the heavy stuff for the old timers. It's pretty awesome. We've got a good theme of going throughout the strips about how to, respect your elders and help them out. They're full of good stories and good wisdom. And then Sunday we had the epic. Let me go to another screen here, just my pad. Turn off this iPhone real quick. We can leave that on. Why not? Okay. Yeah, so Sunday we did a little something different with the secret origin of one of the characters. We're probably going to continue the secret origins of the characters. So if you have a character that you want to see the origin of, drop it in the comments or let us know. We've got a lot of good ideas for some of the characters behind the scenes. So this one was considered cowboy. Andrew Wilson on YouTube asked, am I on a Cintiq or similar? I'm on an iPad Pro. Ditched my Cintiq years ago, so iPad Pro. And I'm using Procreate and OBS to broadcast. So yeah, the considered cowboy. If you haven't read this strip, he used to be named Cal Boyd. And he wasn't always so considerate. He was a nasty fella. And this kind of goes with Gary's stories of, not having empathy. Some bosses don't have empathy, and vice versa, for like stuff that you're telling your employees one day that they're doing a great job, and the next day they're fired. So that's kind of what Cal Boyd's story was. And then one day it was his turn, and Cal got fired. All right, Diamond Hands Hen. Natty Wife wants to see the secret origin of Diamond Hands Hen. That's a fun one. We wrote that one down already, actually. All of the Web3 characters. So here we see Cal was distraught, not knowing what to do without that job. Sneak appearance by the lucky cat, the very, very, very lucky cat. And he decided to cash out his 401k and go on this Balanced Beetle tour. So Balanced Beetle is kind of like the Yoda of the VeeFriends world, right? Cowboy during the 55 box break. Yeah, they're doing an awesome 55 box break on Thursday. Big show from Vegas. So it's the big game show over on the Fanatic stream. Got to tune in for that. Got a little cough, so pardon me if I cough occasionally. But yeah, he went on the Balanced Beetle tour. Hey, everybody on TikTok as well. Thanks for watching over there. Gary might be joining us in a few. He's a busy fella. And okay, switch back my scene here. How many artists work on the VeeFriends right now? There's some other freelance artists and things, I'm sure, but right now just the comic strip is just me. So I'm doing all the comic strip artwork. The writing is done by myself and brainstorming by Gary, and actually a lot of the other team members kind of throw in their ideas, and we flesh them out and take ideas from the community as well too. So a little fan service here and there. So here we've got he's gone through the desert and he's about to die, and he's saying he promises he'll change his ways. Isn't that pretty typical that you only promise to change your ways when you're in dire straits? And the Desert VeeFriends show up. Of course, Rational Rattlesnake, Courteous Coyote makes a first appearance in the comic. Natty Wife wants to know if I ever sleep. Not much. So yeah. I am not a VeeFriend. I am DJ Kaufman. So yeah, so I love the line "Don't eat me," just because if you see animals talking and they look, the way that VeeFriends look, you might think, please don't eat me. Yeah, so true to his word, he decided to change and become the considerate cowboy. And at the end here, we have Cynical Cat, who's now on the tour, and he's thrown the guide into the trash, saying he doesn't need this guide. Very typical, typical Cynical Cat for you. Savvy said the backstory was fantastic. Thanks, Savvy. Appreciate you watching and sharing the comics. This week is the football week, so we have Big Game Bandicoot a lot this week. And this was the Are You Ready for Some Football? Initially, I had sports ball in there, but I changed it because I thought for people that really like football, you don't really like it when someone says sports ball. It's kind of like, all right. So he's, of course, saying football. But I might reserve the sports ball for later. We'll see later in the week. And Panda's like, I guess I'm excited. He's like, you guess, it's the big game. So Bandicoot waits for this moment all year. This is his big time, the big game, right? which may not be the only big game that he's excited about, but for now, any big game he's excited about. So yeah, Patient Panda is basically saying, hey, it's 6 days away. You still got 6 days to go as of Monday. And here we have him getting very excited and saying the clock's ticking down. He's kind of speaking in touchdown or football talk, right? Clock's ticking down, a 2-minute warning. We're in the red zone. We're about to score. The touchdown is nigh. So, and then he's like, see you Sunday. We're getting up to where I am right now. By the way, I'm going to walk through where I am for this week. One moment. Okay. And then we have, again, he's kind of sneaking up on the cow here. Who do you think is going to win the big game? And if you have a guess of who's going to win the game on Sunday, throw it in the chat. Throw a comment down. He's sneaking up on the common sense cow here. She doesn't even know that there's a game. He's like, were you serious right now? The big game is the Super Bowl. We're just not allowed to officially call it that. So we're like threading the needle here. Someone else said you're not technically allowed to call it the Super Bowl in like marketing or products and things like that. And says, I'm sorry, I have zero footballing knowledge. I thought a Super Bowl just held more snacks. And then at the end we have the alert ape with a giant Super Bowl of snacks. And he's like, are you ready for some nachos? And all of these comics are going to tie together by Saturday too. So you're going to want to tune into Saturday's strip this weekend. Today was the Motivated Monster strip. So he's giving a pep talk. The odds are against us. Experts in Vegas say we're doomed. Hey, Nacho. All right. Nachos in the chat over on YouTube. Right, there's a big bowl of nachos in that last year. He's giving a pep talk to somebody. Here's what the so-called experts don't know about us. When we pull together as a team, we're unbeatable. And then one of the players here, which may or may not be like, I don't know, real football players. Now let's get out there and win this thing. But they're like, hey, we didn't even make the playoffs, dude. And then also this specific character here is reading the book that we have going through the comics Understand Yourself from this self-aware hair. And then he's like, yeah, I'm talking about next year. Let's go. Like next season, guys. Let's go. Like, nice recovery. Right. So that leads us to today's, and I've blurred out today's is not, or the one I'm working on today for tomorrow is not a Super Bowl strip, but you can kind of guess what it is about. And of course, he still has the fake chain. If you're following the comics, if you're not, you're new to the comics, you're new to VeeFriends, they're posted every day, Monday through Sunday, on all of the VeeFriends socials. So that's at VeeFriends on all socials. And then we also, if you're new to VeeFriends, check out VeeFriends.com. We got the trading card game, and they're doing a big live show tomorrow. Is that tomorrow? Wow, it is tomorrow, right? Thursday, out in Vegas. They're doing a huge show, giving away all kinds of stuff. Please check out VeeFriends.com for all the information, or just follow VeeFriends anywhere on socials, and they'll be talking about it, I'm sure. So, I'm finishing up right now. So now you're in a deep work stream with me till anyone else joins. If Gary pops in, we'll probably write a comic live together or something. You never know what's going to happen. Just always got to be ready. Got to be ready for anything with Gary around. And I'm finishing up the inks on this one here. It's really fun to do. I might actually start some of the coloring, but actually to keep this kind of interesting, I might jump to the next strip for the inks, and also to be productive, because this is basically, you're getting like a behind the scenes look at the making of the daily comic strip for VeeFriends universe. The VeeFriends universe, is that? Yeah, it is a universe of characters. There's over 280 characters. If you have a favorite character, drop them in the chat and why. I'm very curious to know. I'm always curious to know what your favorite VeeFriend is and why you connect to it. So then for Saturday's, this is Saturday? No, this is Friday's strip. It's really, this is crazy. You'll never guess what's going on in this strip, probably. You might. So I'm just going to go ahead and fade this out a little bit. And then I'm going to start inking here. Right. Use another layer. I've added a different camera angle here as well for the let's see here. Whoop. All right, Gary's running a little bit late, but he'll join in later. I'm just going to keep an eye out for him. I'm going to keep working. So we're going to ink this panel up here. Of course, this is Genuine Giraffe, and Genuine Giraffe is inside of a owl costume for some reason. That's the setup for this strip. So INFJ Life says iguana intuition is almost never talked about. Yeah, we talk about that a lot. Gary talks about intuition a lot, like your gut feeling, going with your gut when you meet people or situations. It's very interesting. I'm a big fan of intuition. I always kind of go with the flow. Sometimes the best things work out. You know, on paper, things might not seem logical, but if you're using your intuition, I think, yeah, I won't speak on behalf of Gary, but I think I've heard him talk in some of his other videos about that, about how some of the best things come from just knowing, you know? Right. Yeah, it's a lot of fun working on the comics. I know people are asking what I'm drawing in. I'm drawing on an iPad Pro in Procreate. I'm using my own custom brushes that kind of just feel like traditional drawing to me. So I've made my brushes to kind of feel like how they would feel if I was drawing on Bristol board, something like that. And not to speak to insider speak of cartoonists or whatnot, but Bristol board's pretty much like a really thick paper, let's say, smooth, cardstock sort of paper. So sometimes when you're drawing on like a Cintiq screen or like a drawing screen, let's say, I'm gonna try and talk more broad, so I'm not speaking another language here. It'll feel like you're drawing on glass, and I don't like that. So with the iPad Pro, I actually have a cover over it to simulate the resistance of paper. So it feels very similar to paper. And I'm drawing very similarly to how you would do it traditionally, like the layers here on the side. There's a pencil layer, then there's an ink layer, and then the lettering, and then the coloring. They're all different layers, different parts of the process. But through the magic of digital, we can do it all in one file. So it's kind of fun. A little behind the scenes comic making knowledge for you. It's probably one of the most asked questions I get in the streams is like what I'm drawing with. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Great. All right, great. I don't know what's going on with the live stream. The beauty of live. Let's see here. If it happens again, seem to kind of blip out. Kind of keep an eye on it. Happens occasionally. The live streams. I forget what I was saying, but anyways, I was kind of walking through some of my thoughts. Now, this strip required me to draw a character in a owl costume, and I chose genuine giraffe just on a whim because I thought it would look silly, kind of fun. So that's what we got. This is genuine giraffe in an owl costume for, I think this is Friday's strip. I'll keep the words off just because I don't want to spoil it too much, but you can watch me draw these. Okay, I've just been told Gary won't be joining the stream, but that's okay. He is a CEO of multiple companies. In the middle of the day, I don't imagine, this is it's not a major priority to join and make comic strips when he's running like an empire of awesome stuff. But I appreciate you hanging out as I get to work on the comic. I'm just going to stay live for quite a bit. So if you have questions about VeeFriends or the comics themselves, go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'll look up and do some chatting while I'm drawing here. Yeah, so this was fun to figure out, like, how do you put the characters that already have their style in like a new outfit or like a an owl outfit. What does that even look like? So when I sketched this up yesterday, I was like laughing, going like, this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous looking, but that's the joke. I can't give it away right now, but and it's actually, if you're familiar with VeeFriends and you know the VeeFriends Fanatics streams, Adam Rips, this comes inspired by one of Adam Rip's jokes in the brainstorming session, and I wrote it down. I told him last week, I'm like, Adam, I'm doing it. I'm doing the owl strip. And he was like, no way. So this one's for you, Adam. Hope I make you proud, my friend. And it's going to make an amazing sticker for your iPhone as well. What will happen with these comic strips? Well, they're daily for now, and I'd imagine, and I can't really get into planning and stuff behind the scenes, nothing official, but I'm sure they'll be printed at some point. Oh, you know what? Someone just mentioned the mini machines. You got your VeeFriend minis. I don't think my camera's going to pick that up. But I forgot to put a pencil topper on today. So today I'm going to put the fox. Flexin' Fox. I'm trying to show TikTok, and the little camera down on the right is basically the TikTok feed. Kind of experimenting with different views. Some people wanted to see my actual hands on the YouTube stream, so I'm doing that. But yeah, the INFJ Life, these will probably be collected into book form at some point or another. But for now, you could support the comics by, reading them on all the socials or whatever social media of your choice, and liking them, sharing them with your friends. There's some really good ones, thoughtful ones, and we'll figure out the print as we go, because we're gonna have a lot of comic strips, guys. Like, I don't think people really realize how many adds up. I mean, it's 365 comics, of course, at the end of the year, or 366 for this year, because we have a extra day this year, right? It's a leap year. Look how silly that looks. Yeah, it was fun working up in the office last week up in New York with everybody on the VeeFriends team. So much going on behind the scenes at VeeFriends. It's pretty amazing. Just, I get to just draw the comics, but there's all kinds of things. There's events, event planners, social media team, merchandise folks. There's just all kinds of moving pieces behind the VeeFriends, and what's most important is everybody's awesome. Like, can't really say that enough. The feeling, in the office is excitement, and talking about VCon coming up in August out in Los Angeles. So many cool things happening around VeeFriends, and so much more to come. So make sure that you're staying tuned if you're new to VeeFriends, especially over on TikTok. We got a lot of new people. Stop sharing our industry secrets. Radio Wastelands. I'm not sure if you're in the office, Radio Wastelands, but all right. Savvy over on TikTok said her favorite is Kind Warrior. She's been fighting darkness her whole life. Kindness has been my answer. That's awesome. Radio Wasteland says, hello, don't share our secrets, LOL. I'm not sure if you're talking about art. Because guess what? I'm giving away all the art secrets. I'm like that masked magician, that gave away all the tricks. Because ultimately, I would love to see more people drawing comics. Not that it's a dying art form or anything like that. It's just, I would love to see more cartoons out in the world. Hopefully my feed stays up here. I got a lot going on. I got like 4 cameras now, a mic, all being powered like on one giant thing. I want to make sure I have all my other programs off, actually. Photoshop was open. Oh. Yeah, and I do more deep work streams on TikTok, on the VeeFriends TikTok channel. Right now we're live on all the other channels. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Twitch, YouTube, and X. And I'm also live over on TikTok. And I do more deep work streams where it's pretty much you get the behind the scenes of upcoming comics, but also just a little bit hearing me talk a little bit more about the characters, because I spend a lot of time with the characters, so I get to thinking about a lot of the characters behind the scenes. Like even here we have Genuine Giraffe, and she's kind of in a giant owl costume for some reason that will be revealed in this strip. And like someone told her she needed to wear this outfit. And I just think about people that are genuine, like they just believe. You believe them and they believe you, and not that they can be fooled easily or anything like that. They just trust, they trust other characters, people. It's kind of interesting. All right, let me look at your comments here real quick. Thanks for keeping me company. I like to talk when I draw. Hi, Raven, over on TikTok. Andrew Wilson is a 2D animator, and I'd love to see a VeeFriends animation studio and create a VeeFriend cartoons, kind of like the old HB stuff. Tell you what, Andrew, you want to send your information to us. I can't make any guarantees or anything like it, But if you want to send like a portfolio or something to dj.kaufman at VeeFriends, we'll take a look at your stuff. We have a lot of ideas. There you go. djkaufman at VeeFriends.com. Shoot me like a portfolio or something if you got it. What do you animate in, Andrew? 2D animation, I'm going to guess like Toon Boom, or I don't know. I don't have enough patience for animation. Although I've been thinking about learning Procreate Dreams because I'm a big Procreate user. And my friends that are using it, my animator friends, say that it's pretty cool, you know? But I'm more of a daily comic strip machine. But I do like to make things move, and it's always a joy to see something I've done. We're doing some more animations on TikTok here shortly, with some of the comic strip stuff, I think. So stay tuned to the TikTok channel for some of those. It was very fun to think about the character traits, and I don't know. I find it kind of I don't know if it sounds silly to say, but it makes me think about things I normally wouldn't think about. Um, like as much. Like over here we have Humble Hedgehog. Thinking about what it means to be humble, what it means to be genuine, the genuine giraffe here. I think that's kind of the one of the extra bonuses to working on this project is just it's like a daily reminder for things like humble, you know, genuine, gratitude gorilla, patience. I always have my now I have um, my patient panda right on my desk. If you've ever heard Gary talk about kind of the origin story of VeeFriends, he talks about how um, he was walking around like a workplace and saw people's toys on their desk, and he thought, wouldn't it be cool if like the toys could be like something that reminds you to be patient or kind, courage, you know, those kind of things, especially at work. You know, you might be in a job you don't like. I was there. I've been there. Where you're just like, oh, another meeting with this person. You know, you could be having a great day. Like, there's so many things about the workplace that could be stressful or just you're just dreading going to work. And there's always something like you have these knickknacks on your desk, little reminders that you have a life outside of those walls, um, that you're not your day job kind of thing, you know? Very Fight Club, to be honest. Hey, David. Thanks for watching. Stream over on YouTube. Natty Wife says she wants to see May in an actual owl costume as she's associated with the genuine giraffe. Do you mean May from VeeFriends in an owl costume? I could see that. I don't know if that's the May that you mean, but I would also like to see that. Pea Salad. The character Pea Salad is making an appearance for the first time on Saturday's strip. And I know that Pea Salad is May is a big fan of Pea Salad, if we're talking about the same May. Yeah. Fear, too, like that's another big thing about people's fears. You know, probably going to dip into some Fearless Fairy shortly. That's a great character. But how often your fears hold you back from everything. Like, I'll give you a quick example. I live just south of Pittsburgh, PA. And many years ago, there's a lot of people that don't leave these small towns. They never leave the town that they're from. So even going to Pittsburgh, into the big city, you know, which is pretty hilarious because Pittsburgh's not very big. People, uh-oh, the iPad went out. Let's do it again. Yep. Come on. Come back. Come back, iPad. All right. Huh. I'll keep glancing up. Hopefully it doesn't happen a lot, but fix these details. Anyways, people are afraid to leave their situations, and like it's generational. Like the old timers when I was a kid used to say like, be careful going to the big city, you know, for a concert or something like that. And then sooner or later in life you just kind of go like, screw it, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then you realize it wasn't as scary as people were afraid of. You know, of course there are dangers everywhere and stuff, but you're never really going to experience anything unless you get out into the world, talk to other people, find common ground and stuff like that, right? And now it's even funnier because, like, I just spent the week up in New York and I talked to other friends that were like, whoa, New York, whoa, look out. I love New York. I mean, just like anywhere, like I'm saying, there's always places to avoid and, you know, situations to avoid. You probably wouldn't want to be dancing down the street at midnight or 2 a.m. or something. But I got to tell you, as an you know, someone not from the city, everybody that I interacted with were nice and kind. You know, even like the train people and stuff, like the train conductor was like, have a nice flight, and it seemed like he meant it. You don't get that in Pittsburgh, I gotta tell you. Like, it's not that kind in Pittsburgh, really. It is, but it's not. New York's just a different type of, like, you know, I just can't explain it. But my wife was there with me, and we were like, isn't that nice? You know. Hey, Brett. What software for graphic design are you using? If you mean what I'm drawing in right now, I'm using Procreate. Other than that, though, I love Adobe products, you know. Get rid of this. This will be Friday's comic strip you're looking at. David, do you work as a graphic designer or thinking about it? With Procreate, I do all the lettering and stuff right in the app. For the comic strip, I've been doing a lot of the balloons and things just by hand, just because I want to. I don't like to make things look too robotic or bland. Screen printer, but I draw and paint in oil. David, I once worked at a screen printing shop many moons ago. Some funny stories about screen printing is awesome. The place that I worked, though, in Uniontown, Pennsylvania, they used to dump the chemicals down the drain in the basement, which was definitely against the EPA or whatever. Like, it's some harsh stuff in the emulsions and stuff that they used to use back in the 90s. But probably like the screen cleaner that we used to spray and all that. And then I worked at Spread Group for 10 years doing print on demand stuff for YouTubers. So very familiar with the printing industry. Vector stuff versus, vector versus bitmap. Of course, this is a bitmap program, David, which, vector's probably better for lossless stuff. We can talk about that. Get really nerdy with our printer lingo. Been meaning to watch some. Andrew said that he started out in animation, actually working on paper as a traditional animator on an Acme animation. I really liked the Looney Tunes when I was a kid, and those were like the Chuck Jones era Looney Tunes, not era. I still think about Chuck Jones a lot because when I'm drawing the VeeFriends and people were like, DJ, your stuff's like so animated and or full of life, which thank you. And number one, thank you. And number two, I guess I credit that to Chuck Jones because I always liked the way that he drew Bugs Bunny and Wile E. Coyote and all that stuff. You could definitely tell his work compared to other animators. This isn't the Coachella Valley. Which when I lived in the Coachella Valley for 10 years. It was very funny that every time Bugs Bunny came out of the hole and didn't know where he was, and was like, this isn't the Coachella Valley. People from the valley would be like, why did Bugs Bunny want to come here? Because like Palm Springs, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, if you were lucky enough to have real Saturday morning cartoons, then you're blessed. Looney Tunes and all that stuff from the 80s too, I wasn't a big fan of Smurfs Saturday morning cartoons. Most of the people that I've ever worked with were younger and don't remember, the real Saturday morning cartoons. But there was something special about that time. Get a big bowl of cereal and watch the Smurfs, and then I'd have to watch the Smurfs in order to get to like Garfield or some of the other shows that I liked. And you had the after school shows, which were great. You had your He-Man and your, by the way, those Skeletor collabs just came out. Skeletor and Skilled Skeleton, I see those are landing and people are posting those on Instagram. X and Instagram. It's the VeeFriends collab with Skeletor. I gotta get one of those. Gotta find me a connection that might have one of those. I need that little skeleton for my shelf in the back. Please don't offer to send me out. I'll get it myself. Can't take bribes or whatever. But yeah, that looks super sick. I had people asking me, I had DMs saying like, did you draw the comic book that came with it? I'm like, no, that was before me. But man, it looks cool. Like, it looks really neat. But I loved Masters of the Universe. Of course, there were wrestling cartoons too. I don't know if anybody remembers wrestling cartoons like Hulk Hogan and WWF. Like, that was my childhood. Gary's childhood as well, which is, I think, why I get along with his ideas so well. Kind of cut from the same, different cloth, but very similar cloth. Special time growing up in the 80s, 90s. Although I gotta say, I really wish I had the tools that we have now. Like, if I would have had the internet when I was 14, I'd have drawn so many comics for free on the internet. There's so many awesome tools. Oh, Scooby-Doo and the Globetrotters. Yeah. Globetrotters were pretty awesome. Globetrotters came to my school once, and that's the only thing I could think about was the cartoon. And the guys from the cartoon were, I forget their names, but the big, tall, bald guy from the Globetrotters came to our school. Did a bunch of tricks and stuff. Man. How on earth? What we got going on over on TikTok? Kyle. Hey, Kyle. Thanks for watching. If you're new to VeeFriends, this is the VeeFriends Deep Work stream. So I'm actually working on the comic strip live for this week, trying to get a little bit more ahead. But we had some, this one's more of a timely week, Super Bowl week. So we got a lot of Super Bowl jokes this week. We have a daily comic strip. It's published on all of the VeeFriends social channels. You can read it on TikTok. You can read it on X every morning, 9 o'clock Eastern time. I think that's the posting schedule right now. Then we have the Sunday comics, which are bigger. The Sunday comics are larger. And there we go, Andrew. Curly. Of course, it was Curly with the bald head. That dude came to my school when I was a kid. Crazy. Yeah, the comics come out 9 a.m. every day. Unless it's a special day. I thought about maybe, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here. But I was thinking about the Sunday strip this week. I've got an idea for it, and it's going to be Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl Sunday. But I was thinking, like, maybe it's a halftime special. Maybe it's like the VeeFriends halftime special. And maybe we schedule it so that it comes out during halftime of the Super Bowl. These are just, off the top of my head. I haven't talked to anybody about it yet. Maybe I'll talk to May and Andy about that. It just came to me this morning. I was like, that's cool. We could be like, tune in for the VeeFriends halftime special. And it's just a comic strip. It could be fun. Cool. Yeah, I normally will I'll probably be doing some more deep work streams soon. Right now it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and usually around 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time, I'm on TikTok doing these streams. So if you want to pop in to the old TikTok, and then on days where we're doing like a comic review or Gary's joining, we'll be live on all the channels. So Gary wasn't able to join today. Just got busy. And but check out the other videos too. Like we were doing some live ideation, and he's running like multiple companies, so I'm gonna man the ship here with the comics, which I'm down to do. I got this ship, Gary. And I'm really looking forward to going out live at some point, probably later on at some Comic Cons and shows, drawing some comic strips live and doing some stuff to get out and meet some of you. Maybe I'll draw you something live. That sounds funny. Fun, not funny. Andrew Wilson went to the Kubert School. What year did you go to the Kubert School, Andrew Wilson? I know many people that went to Kubert School. My friend Todd Schulich went to the Kubert School. Yeah, this is Genuine Giraffe. Genuine Giraffe is in a owl costume for some reason in this strip. You'll have to tune in Friday to see why. Yep. 87 to 90. I don't know what year Todd Schulich graduated, but probably a little bit after that. He was a painter. Todd Schulich. Ed Pisker went to Kubert School, I believe, but probably not that early. I did the correspondence course where Joe would write on and it was actually Joe that did mine. You would send your samples in, and Joe Kubert. By the way, anybody watching this is some deep knowledge, but Joe Kubert, one of the legends of comic book world, ran the Kubert School, which is still there, in New Jersey. But many artists would get, hired out of that school to work in comics and entertainment industry. And, a lot of people that went to that school don't get hired because it takes a special kind of crazy to do comics now. It's some dedication and discipline. It takes more than just learning to draw. Like actually drawing pages and meeting deadlines and stuff like that can be very, very tricky. Yeah, all at the Kubert School, all the teachers are animation artists and other comic book artists, which is pretty cool. So you're learning directly from people that are doing it, or published work, or actively publishing work. Very good. Very good school. Yeah. Zen Jan on Twitch is totally down for me doing in-person gigs with Gary. I'm down for that as well. And I'm sure we will do that. Gary has invited me to travel along with him sometimes. And I'm just, I got to just wait for the call. So if Gary's like, DJ, we're going, I'll be like, all right, let's go, dude. And then I'm gone. Then I'm on a plane. But now we'll probably do some Comic-Cons, I can't confirm nor deny any kind of, but there are some in the works for certain. And of course, VCon in August in Los Angeles, which, is going to be a trip for me because I went to VCon last year on a whim. I didn't have anything to do with VeeFriends or anything like that. I just was a fan of Gary, and my wife had an extra ticket. And I was like, yeah, I'll go check that out. And it was so awesome. Like, the speakers were amazing, and the community were so nice. The VeeFriends fans community, also great. And just really wonderful life experience for me. I wasn't even thinking about working for VeeFriends at that time. Like, it wasn't in my thoughts at all. Like, I did draw some sketch cards, and I just gave them out with some of the characters on them. Like, if I was at some spec brunch or something like that, just kind of promoting my own brand, and was like, hey, here, pick which character you want. So somewhere out there, somebody's got the first time I ever drew VeeFriends. I don't know who they are, but I gave away all those cards. Yeah, basically, Andrew, how did I get to meet Gary? Well, I did meet Gary, but Gary meets like thousands of people, I'm sure he doesn't remember meeting me. I did get to meet him briefly at VCon in May. Just very briefly. I just thanked him because, like, all the content he's put out over the years, definitely inspiring to me and my personal brand, and for comics and comic artists. But how I got to actually meet and work with Gary was, long story short, I was leaning in privately in my private life to do more cartoon strips, even though the world doesn't really want cartoon strips. I came back from Vid Summit with a lot of my YouTube friends, and I was going to make more content about comic strips. And Gary had tweeted that he was hiring a comic strip artist. And I just immediately started to work on that night. I saw the tweet at like 2 a.m, and I just busted out my work. And the next night I was live streaming my submission, pretty much my submission. And that got linked around behind the scenes, and Andy, the president of VeeFriends, saw the stream and was like, hey man, let's talk. And I pitched them my idea for how I thought things could work with the daily comic strip, which I really believe the daily comic strip is sort of the future of comics in a lot of ways. It used to be, it still exists. There's daily comic strips in every newspaper and stuff, but I really feel like the daily engagement with your fans, and I think that a lot of businesses, I think Marvel should be doing it. I think, many corporations should be doing daily comics of some kind to build community. So yeah, got on a call, met Gary officially, pitched the idea. He loved it. He's like, you're the dude. You're the guy for this. I was like, sweet. And then that's it. The rest is history. We just got rolling right away. Shortly after that, Gary has my phone number and started texting me all kinds of ideas, and away we went. away we went. So he spends probably, from what I've heard him say, just, when he's traveling or thinking about the characters, he's spending a lot of time thinking about the characters. And then I'm spending a lot of time thinking about the characters as I'm drawing them every day now for hours. And we're pretty dedicated to doing this as long as we can. So Gary said 50 years. So, I'll be 98, which I'm down to do that. Like, it's a dream, that's awesome. Cartoonists are kind of built for that. Charles Schultz and so many other cartoonists, when they stop drawing, they, that's when they usually exit. So I'm down to draw till I can't draw no more. Yeah, it's like a new gang of friends, Andrew said. Somebody on the TikTok stream said, "Do you hear the characters?" And that's really funny, because you do start to hear them. They can you could just put them in a situation. Pick the characters, put them in a situation, and then just let them talk. Like, let them, do what they're going to do. You're just kind of the, excuse me, you're just kind of the editor of the story and the hand that moves it, But the characters kind of have a life of their own to a certain degree, which is fun. That's how you've got some good characters, I think. So I can draw the humble hedgehog here pretty much with my eyes closed now. I can draw a lot of these characters just in sketchbooks and things, and like make them into a different shape or doing something, and then they'll just start saying something. They'll, what are they doing? What's going on here? Kind of thing. It's like a sitcom. What situation are they in? And then just let them work their way out of it. It's very fun to do. Hello, Victor, over on TikTok. Thanks for watching. I'm going to keep the TikTok stream on while I work. And we will probably end the other streams on the other channels just to kind of open that up in a little bit. Oops. Nope. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun to work on this strip. I appreciate everybody out there liking the strip, commenting on it, sharing it every day. That's super awesome. No matter what social you're on, it is at VeeFriends. At VeeFriends. Please follow it. Subscribe. You can find me. I'm going to end the stream over on TikTok. Not TikTok. I'm staying on TikTok. I'm going to end the stream on YouTube, Twitch, and X now. But if you want to go to TikTok, this stream will continue, and I'll hang out on TikTok while I'm going to continue working on the strip for a little bit longer. So today. So thanks for watching on these other streams. Twitch, YouTube, X. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry Gary wasn't able to join. There's going to be plenty of that. We're going to do all kinds of stuff in the future here. So please stay tuned, support the comic, and follow VeeFriends. I'm going to end the stream over on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Go to TikTok at VeeFriends if you want to continue watching. Continue on TikTok. Let's just write it, just in case people have their sound off. Continue. Wow. Way too big. Watch on TikTok. There you go. So come on over to TikTok, and I'll see you over there.